Welcome back to Barb City, episode 64. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin, I
So, before we get into the list of spooky stories that Kevin got us today, the Halloween, I have a thing that I didn't. So, the song, Pina Colada. Do you like Pina Coladas or whatever it's actually called? Uh,
Isn't it called Let's Get Down Tonight? Oh, that's a different song. I'm confusing that song with another song right now. Don't listen to me, y'all. I'm tired. Don't listen to anything I'm saying.
he worked a 12-hour shift last night
Anything I say, just ignore it.
until he starts reading his list.
Yeah.
Because then he's on a list and
Then I'll be reading, so it'll be different. Yeah.
yeah.
Oops.
But anyways, that song, "Do You Like Pina Colada?" Escape actually is what it's probably called. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
by Rupert Holmes, I think it is. Anyways, I started thinking like I don't understand why people actually like really unironically like that song because like and it's played in a lot of places I've heard in like clubs and bars, whatever, and like relaxing. People are using movies. But the whole song is about a guy who is tired of his wife and is deciding to cheat on her.
Hell yeah.
And he sees a little ad in the newspaper, which is has written down the whole the chorus of the song. Do you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain? But like, and the thing is, like, because it's straight up in the great right there in the beginning of the song. It literally starts out with, "I was tired of my lady. We've been together for too long, for so long, or whatever." And he decides to meet up with this person he starts writing to. They decided to meet up, and it turns out the lady was his wife the whole time. And I guess they realized, they're, each other's not as boring as we thought they were. So I guess they technically stay together. But the thing is,
They were meant to be.
the song literally is talking about a husband and wife who were planning on cheating on each other.
They couldn't do it though. It was destiny had a different plan.
Like technically, yeah, but like it's ironic. But and like honestly, it has me thinking like all these songs that people get, cancel.
Yeah.
No one has a problem with a dude talking about wanting to cheat on his boring wife.
You know, the first time I ever heard that song was in Shrek. I'd never heard of
Yeah,
that song before until I saw the movie Shrek.
yeah. I don't know. It's just, and of course, my vape I was having was pina colada flavor, so it's been in my head.
Yeah.
So that's what really started making me think on. It's like, what the fuck? Like, it's a catchy song, but it's not actually a good song.
Pina colada.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's just an okay song. The chorus is catchy, but it's I don't know. It's kind of a stupid song. I don't know.
I
Sorry,
mean, yeah,
sorry.
it's
No
literally,
offense to anybody that likes it.
yeah, it is kind of a
Don't, like I
stupid
said, don't
song.
listen to me.
I mean, I'm agreeing with you. It is kind of a stupid song. The chorus is the only thing
Yeah.
good about it. The rest of it is literally just him trying to message this mystery woman. And not only is he cheating on his wife, he's planning on cheating on his wife, which again turns out to be his wife, but he was planning on cheating on his wife with some random person on the newspaper ad for to write to. For all he knows, it could have been a fucking dude.
That was a risk he was willing to take.
Yeah, and the fact that his wife was literally, bored of him enough to throw an ad out in the paper to hook up.
Yippee!
Yeah, like, hmm,
My avatar's falling asleep. Sorry, I'm kind of goofy. I went from being like out of it, now I'm acting silly. This is not a
yeah.
good time for me to act silly for this kind of podcast.
But yeah, like, kind of a crap song.
Kind of reminds me of this song. What is it? Every Breath You Take. A lot of people like play that song at weddings and stuff, but I was like, that song's about a stalker. You all know that, right? Yeah. But
Is it?
it sounds romantic to them, so they play it. So yeah, it's about it. Like even the lead singer admitted himself, like he's surprised how many people like play that song at weddings and parties and stuff because it's like of what it's actually about. And I'm like, yeah,
Uh,
that's like an example of people go by kind of what the song feels like more than what the actual lyrics are saying. So,
yep.
yeah, I don't care what I have to say. I just want to dance. But yo, you can say in the comments if you know what that's a reference to.
I mean, it doesn't actually surprise me when it comes to the police, considering they have their whole song "Don't Stand So Close to Me" is about a teacher who actually has a thing for his underage student, but he's trying to get, stay away from her because she also has a thing for him.
Yeah. There's a lot of really creepy 80s rock songs like that about students and teachers. I'm like, ugh. So
I
creepy.
love how a band called The Police has
I didn't
a
even think about that.
pedophile technically
Yeah.
story and a stalker story.
Yeah.
Isn't that ironic?
What kind of message are they sending here?
Yeah.
I'm getting mixed messages.
I'm getting mixed signal.
Oh, geez, my neck.
Anyways, that's my musical rant over. Time, Kevin's spooky list.
Time after time.
Oh no.
Sorry, now you got me in the 80s.
And it's in my head now. Thanks.
If you fall, I don't even remember all the lyrics to that song. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting time. I think that's how that song is. It's been a middle while since I heard it. Oh crap. Sorry, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Hang on. Wrong tab. Close that up. They don't
Click
need
the
to see
right
that.
stuff, Kevin.
Okay, so some of these, do you have stories picked out or no?
Uh,
Or you pick
no.
out? Okay. I was just now these are a mix of like short and longer stories. So some of these, like when I read them off, it'll feel like really short, but just know not all the stories are that short because I wanted to kind of do a little bit of variety. So,
Yeah.
and it's a mix of different types of stories too. Like some are ghost stories, some are like I think there's one, or if I remember correctly, there's one or two home invasions, and then I got like a glitch in the matrix there. So and
Well,
so
nice.
because I need the variety. Jeez. Um, I was having a dream and suddenly heard someone say, "Wake up, somebody's watching you," over and over again until I woke up. I was really shaken because I was sleeping under a window on the first floor. Nobody was there, but I was still pretty scared. I then never slept down there again. It doesn't specify if it was like their bedroom or a different room or what. Also, my dog would randomly growl at the window at night. Uh, they don't also specify like if their dog was growling at the window just that night or on random nights, so I'm not sure based on
Yeah.
context there. So, but yeah, like I said, basically, I just thought it was pretty creepy because they were talking about like someone's watching you, and then they suddenly got that feeling someone might be watching them from their window. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, it definitely would have been nice to have a bit more context, like on the dog
Yeah.
situation and on the like what room that was because that was the first thing I thought was like, well, was that their bedroom or like was that a different room they slept in that one night or what? So I don't know.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, did you read the comment section to make sure they actually didn't say
I
anything extra in
did,
the comment?
and no one asked anything about that. So,
Mm, okay
all right. The next story is something strange happened one night at a hostel in Indonesia.
A hostel and it,
Yeah,
my
Indonesia.
dude, my person. Like, why are you in a hostel in Indonesia? Like,
I didn't even really think about that when I was reading this. Yeah. Anyway, that is kind of strange. Um, I don't know if anyone will believe this, but it really happened to me a couple of months back when I was backpacking in Indonesia. I was staying at a small old hostel in a quiet coastal town. I won't say the name, but it used to be part of a Dutch area. The place looked nice
mhm.
online, but in person it felt kind of forgotten. That's always kind of creepy, like staying at a any kind of place you'd stay the night, even like a hotel or something like that would like you're the only guest there, kind of creepy.
Yeah.
There were only a few rooms that night, and I was the only guest. Back in the hostel, I had an old locked gate that led to a small cemetery and what looks like the remains of a Dutch church. The owner mentioned it once and laughed, but something about it didn't feel right. That night, I couldn't sleep. The place was too quiet. I could hear every sound. Around midnight. I started hearing footsteps on the wooden terrace outside my room. Slow, heavy ones. It didn't sound like someone just passing by. It was more like whoever it was kept walking back and forth. The boards creaked with each step, and then it stopped right in front of my window. I just froze. I was sure someone was standing out there. I didn't move or make a sound for a few seconds. I heard what I swear sounded like breathing, not loud, but close. My window curtain was thin, and I could see a faint shadow through it. It looked tall, taller than a normal person. I wanted to call out, but my voice wouldn't come out. After what felt like forever, the steps started again, slowly moving away down the terrace until everything went quiet. I didn't sleep after that. I just sat up and waited for the sun to come up. In the morning, when I stepped outside, the dust on the terrace had the marks in front of my room like someone had been walking there during the night. When I told the owner what I heard, he just gave me a weird smile and said, "You're not the first." I left that morning and didn't look back. Even now, I still remember those footsteps, slow, heavy, and way too close.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like when I when I first read the story, I was like, yeah, why were they? I guess they were backpacking, huh? Or just travel. I guess people do the in their
Mhm.
early 20s, they kind of do that travel thing that some people do. So
Yeah.
I was scanning the comments real quick.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Like,
I would have totally freaked out. Yep, turning on all the lights and staying awake until sunrise would have been my reaction.
my thing is like, what does he mean by taller than normal? Like, because it could have been just a creepy fucking person that's decently tall. Because there are all tall people in Indonesia. Well,
Yeah, you are brave to travel and backpack alone in this remote part of the country. Aren't you worried about being robbed or kidnapped or killed or something? Yeah, yeah, some people
apparently
are.
not.
So, some people
Apparently
also
not. He
apparently,
just
yeah.
go ahead.
I've heard some people like there was a story about how someone actually got killed in a snowstorm because they decided it was a good idea to camp out in the middle of nowhere during a blizzard. So, and they died. And I was just like, well, yeah, that wasn't a very good idea. Now, was that? So,
Yeah, unless you have like warm tents and shit.
yeah. And he really didn't have, I mean, he had supplies, but he really didn't have enough to help him through that kind of situation.
Because hell, I've seen people like uh survive like without a tent and tools, with very little, well, minimal tools in blizzards and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you gotta be smart about it.
or yeah, or just be the extra smart guy and just bring a heated tent.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
You know, and like because there tends to have a little opening so you can put a little wood stove in the tent.
Yeah, I don't think he had that at all. It was just like a basic tent.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use a basic bitch tent unless, like, I mean, have a fucking like really insulated sleeping bag. Might be fine with that. Like,
Yeah.
that's fucking something, not just basic gear. Basic gear is good for like mild 70 weather.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't in a blizzard, yeah, I'm sure he would have been fine with the supplies he had. But yeah, that wasn't enough for his situation. So, and it's just that kind of stuff. Like, it's okay to like,
Uh,
go adventuring and stuff like that, but you got to be smart about it. So,
mm-hmm. And clearly also staying at an old hostel in Indonesia. It's not a smart move.
no.
I'm not gonna stay at a hostel anywhere. Like, unless it like was like you unless it's one of those, oh, it used to be a hostel, but we've cleaned it up, it's renovated. People actually stay here. Like, I stayed at some off the wall places, but anytime I go and stay at a motel or a hotel or any weird place, if there is not more than two cars of guests, I'm not staying.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't either.
I
It
have
would,
slept in my car at a truck stop in a rest area before I did that. For one, it typically means that people don't want to stay there for one other reason. Like, I get it if it's like on Route 66, something like that. Because
yeah.
there's a lot of places people don't stay in Route 66. That's one thing. It's like, oh, this ain't very travel anymore. But the places are still somewhat nice. But if it's a travel place and there ain't hardly anybody staying, don't stay. Because either something's really fucky weird there, or, even worse than ghost, bed bugs.
Oh God, yeah. Or Lord knows what kind of nasty. Yeah.
Anyways, that one wasn't that scary to me. It probably was just some random crazy fucker.
All right, let's see. This one's just called My Ghost Story. So,
Woo.
when I was 15, I was hanging out with my older sister at her house. She was 23 at the time. It was around 12:30 in the morning, so she made sure I got in the house when she dropped me off. I went upstairs and started taking my makeup off, brushed my teeth, went in bed and turned off the lights. The light was one of those lights that you turn on and off by twisting the little bulb, the thing on the bulb. So it clicked and somehow it went back on once again once I got under the blankets. I tried turning it off and it didn't turn off, and then eventually I just unplugged the light. Fast forward maybe 30, 45 minutes later, I hear my dad get up and go to the bathroom, and then he went back in his room. Then I heard my door open. The house was probably 100 or so years old, so we had a lot of creaky doors. So I said, Dad, and then the door latched closed and I could feel breathing on my neck. I turned around. No one was there, but the breathing and a faint light was. I plug my light in and the door opens and closes again. I hear footsteps running down the stairs, unlocking my front door and then slamming it shut. And that's it.
Okay, then. Now that one was a little, yeah.
That maybe the light was a protective spirit trying to keep you from turning the lights off. I was like, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
A lot of
so,
people, a few people said they don't think it's a ghost. They think it was like maybe a home invasion. So, and
yeah,
then
that might have been.
once they saw that she was in there, or that once they saw she woke up or whatever, they ran down the stairs. It was possible. So,
It could have been just, well, I mean, it could have been just a creeper.
yeah, that's true. Like just somebody whacked out of their head or on drugs or something. So,
Uh,
you never know.
you have to have some skepticism when dealing with ghost stories. Yeah, either way, it's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
That's why I developed the natural ability to wake up swinging.
I don't know how I would react if I woke up to someone breathing on me or whatever. So I don't know. I guess I'd have to, I don't want to be in that situation, but I guess I'd have to be in that situation to know. Because I was like, let me clarify to whatever's listening right now. I don't want to be in that situation.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I don't want to be in that situation, but I know I'm swinging. And
Oh,
if it's a ghost, well, the ghost is fine. Ain't gonna get hurt. Neither's my fist. But like, but if it's just the off case that there's some fucking random creeper just what Jimmy breathing on my neck, like I'm throwing hands and elbows, bro. Like, shh.
Ooh.
I don't play that crap. Anyways,
All right. The next one is called Voices from the Woods.
okay.
2 years ago, the night before Halloween, my friend and I went to the park around 11:30 at night to carve a pumpkin. The lights were still on, and the park sat right beside a quiet little neighborhood. It felt safe. Before we even got out of the car, a black cat ran across the road. My friend, superstitious as hell, asked if this was a bad idea. I laughed it off though. We sat up a under a pavilion. The woods were about 200 feet away, silent, dense, watching. Then right after midnight, Halloween now, the lights cut out. Everything went black. Suddenly the woods uh something fell off wrong or something fell off and wrong, sorry. We didn't move. Then again, hello? Closer. I turned to my friend and saw the whites of his eyes glowing in the dark, wide with pure, silent terror. I grabbed his wrist and ran. As we sped out of the parking lot, another black cat darted across the road in front of us.
Mm,
What is
hmm,
what is this comment? Oh, another thing.
hmm. I guess the black cat was a warning.
Yeah, that's what his friend was thinking. Like, oop, this one, this bear. Okay, that comment makes no sense. It says if you hadn't have hit the first cat, that wouldn't have happened. No, it didn't say anything about hitting a cat. They said they saw a
They
cat.
saw a cat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me pull this one up and see how much time we got because we're probably almost out of time. Didn't show we are. I'm surprised. I guess I'm going through these stories faster than I thought I would. Which one was on?
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I've heard when I was a kid about people like if you like see a black cat run across the road, that's supposed to be bad
Bad
luck. But
luck.
like, where
Yeah.
does that superstition come from, though? Like, because I've never heard like where that origin was from. Is that
I've
just
actually never looked it up. Let me
yeah?
do some research. The belief that black cats are bad luck is a superstition with their origins in medieval Europe, where they were associated with witchcraft and evil spirits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just because of that association, I guess. I thought maybe there
Yeah.
was some kind of like one of those things like, well, originally it was like this or that, but then over time it slowly evolved. But no, it's just because black cats are associated with.
Well, they just their connection with.
Yeah. Yeah, I never really think that though when I've seen black cats like run across the road all the time when I'm like driving and that never comes to my mind. Oh, I better go another way around or something because it's gonna like I never think, ooh, creepy. So or something bad luck may come my way or something like that. All right, the next story is I think I visited a gas station in the future, an alternative universe. So it's like a glitch in the Matrix story.
Okay.
In February of 2022, I was driving through the Midwestern US. Not sure how much detail I'm supposed to put, but I was approaching the outer limits of a bigger city of Ohio. Around 2 a.m., out of cigarettes, almost out of gas, and still had about 3 hours left to get home. Map said that the next open gas station was a travel center on the other side of the city. Car said I had barely enough gas to get me there, so I just trying to drive as consistently as or conservatively as I can. Then I see a brightly lit speedway that looked open. You can see it from the freeway, so I exit and go fill up. I'm the only car there. The pump does not accept my credit card and gives me an error each time I punch in my zip code. Okay, I figured it's a card reader, so I go inside to pay and ask the cashier for a pack of cigarettes. I'm telling him the brand, but he finishes my sentence by saying, I thought you were quitting, in a sort of joking tone, which my tired brain didn't think too much of it. A lot of places I regularly get cigarettes remember the kind I like and recognize me. And as I get baby and as a baby-faced woman, I get a lot of comments joking about how I should quit. So I didn't think much of it until later. When I realized I'd never stopped there before, I didn't recognize the cashier. Anyway, he rings me up and the credit card declines again. I pay cash and go on my way. Didn't think much about it except weird. The cashier must have worked at a different gas station where I'd seen him before, and I assumed that I must have tried my card too many times at the pump and it locked for fraud or something. I drove the same route 2 or 3 more times in 2022. One time I'm running out of gas in almost the same place. Geez, woman, you need to keep gas in your car. And I remember that that the speedway, which was the exit it was at. But as I approached the exit during the day, this time there's no signs for the gas station. You can't see it all the all from the freeway. I assume I passed it, remembered wrong, but the daytime now was way more gas stations are open. But it's daytime now and way more gas stations are open. Sorry about that. And I just go to one at the next exit. Then end up moving to that city in 2023 and occasionally pass the same exit once in a while, thinking, I swear there used to be a gas station here. Even though I be kind of weird, even though it'd be kind of a weird spot for the gas station on a large verge, this spring they started construction in that exact spot. Now there's a speedway that hasn't opened yet. It looks exactly like how I remember on the verge. A retaining wall on the side, multiple one-way ramps entering and exiting the verge on the other side. I don't think I could have remembered that wrong. I can't help but wonder if somehow I glitched into the future, went to a gas station 3.5 years ago that still hasn't opened yet. I think my card got declined because I moved that zip code for my billing address and would be different now, or maybe it was expired in the future. I'm also kind of hopeful because lately I've kind of been considering quitting smoking, but my visit implies that I kept smoking after a new speedway opens, and at least long enough for the cashier to recognize me before telling him that I was quitting. I don't know, but I'm kind of scared to go there once it opens and get a slight sense of dread whenever I drive past it. At the same time, I really want to sketch a picture of what sketch a picture of what it looked like inside and then go visit and compare. It would be both vindicating and terrifying if it's how I remember inside too, though. Either way, it feels like a sign from the universe to quit smoking. So maybe I'll just say that and never go back again. I don't even remember this story. I guess I forgot to rehearse this one. So
Oh, damn.
please be brave and go in. I want to know the outcome. I would
Well,
I would go in personally, so because I would want to know. So I
I
would be
mean,
curious enough. I don't know.
yeah, it's
Anybody,
not,
y'all can leave in the comments. Would y'all go in if a situation like that happened to you? I would. So
yeah, I would go in because I'd be like, I'm
yeah, my
curious now.
curiosity
Like,
would get the best of me. I definitely would go in and see what it looked like. See if like maybe the same cashier worked there or something. Mm. Might be finally a it might finally reset this timeline. Please enter the speedway. Oh, okay. They're referring about the state of the world. Please reset this timeline. For the love of God. Let's see. Yeah, most people are just saying you should go in and at least see. Yeah, I definitely would. Yeah, I don't remember that story, but anyway, that's probably why I read that one so terribly. So, uh, let's see. Next, Terri terrifying night in the woods. Okay. I keep trying to forget about this story, but it keeps coming back into my memory even after years. I'm really curious if anybody has experienced anything similar. I went to college in a rural, I can't pronounce the name of that town. Okay. Starts with an A. I can't pronounce it. I had heard all the previous rules about being in the woods at night. No whistling in the woods, don't be out in the woods after dark, nor crying deep in the woods, etc. But on this particular night, I ignored the most important rule: stay out of the woods from dusk till dawn. I was on the very rural sketch of the Blue Ridge Parkway to watch the sunset with my then girlfriend. We wound up getting pretty comfortable lying down in the back of my car to the point where we started dozing off. I want to say I woke up about 45 minutes after the sun had gone down and the woods were dead silent. I instantly felt like something was wrong. I had a very strange feeling that I was being watched. Oh yeah, I know that feeling. Knowing the heck was that? That's a weird noise. So there's like a really weird noise coming from my neighbor's house. Knowing something
Hmm.
was off, I gently tried to wake my girlfriend and leave when all of a sudden I heard this gut-wrenching scream from the woods from beside my car. I know that the mountain lions and foxes can scream, but this was not like that. It sounded like a full-grown man screaming bloody murder. I instantly got out of the car and slammed my trunk shut and ran to the driver's door to drive away. As I put my key in the ignition, I heard an almost maniacal laughing, what sounded like footsteps bolting toward us. I met Sorry, I keep hearing weird noises. I matted the gas pedal and got the hell out of there. I'm creeping my own self out. Uh, Neither of us spoke the entire drive back to campus, and I had avoided the stretch of the parkway ever since. I have no idea what on earth happened. There was no hiking trails, buildings, or campsites anywhere near that where we were. Anyway, I just thought I would share. Please don't wander in the woods after dark. I don't want to know what could have happened if I didn't wake up.
Hmm. No telling.
Yeah, what that noise is. Let's see.
Oh no, everyone, he's hearing strange noises.
Usually the only thing I ever hear from my neighbor's apartment is their dog barking, but I don't even hear the dog. I just hear some weird, I don't know, I can't even describe the noise. It's weird. Uh, oh no. Oh, sorry, I'm reading these in my head. I guess I should share as I'm reading the comments.
Yeah.
I'm
Share with the
sitting here, I'm
class.
sitting here, share with the class. I'm sitting here reading in my head. Uh, Thanks for the story. I didn't. Uh, why didn't you just crawl up to the driver's seat? Your car sounds comfy at least. Well, it's probably easier to get out and run around though. Well, maybe. So, Uh, Absolutely terrifying, crazy story. I would have been scary as hell. Yeah, most people are just agreeing that it's creepy. Someone has a really long post, but it's like longer than the story, so I'm not reading that. Uh, Sorry, I'm lazy. People make me feel like I got homework sometimes.
Right.
I swear, some of these posts on Reddit every once in a while, even like other posts, I'll see like a reply or something, and it's just like paragraphs and paragraphs long. I'm like, geez, people got too much free time. And I guess they're just doing it on their phone though, as they're out and about doing things though, like typing on
Yeah.
it. Let's see. My old apartment was haunted. Mine too. I lived in no, I'm just teasing. I lived in the apartment with my friend and we experienced a couple of really strange things. This apartment was in an older part of town, but was a newer building. Anyway, one night I left to go have some dinner with my friends and left the entry hall light on as it would be dark when I got home. When I returned home, the light was turned off, but I didn't think anything of it. I asked my friend the next day if she had gone home the night before, and she asked why, and told me no, that night we were both in the apartment, she was gathering things to go to her mom's, about 45 minutes away. And I was about to head out for dinner with my friends. We both decided to leave the light on and walked out to our cars. Outside, we looked up from the street and could see our light was through the window. We even had a discussion about it and since thought at the first thought at, sorry y'all. We thought at first it was turned off. I get home that night and the light switch was turned off. Uh, Dumbly, I ran and grabbed some things and went to my mom's. The next day, I returned to get things for work and the door was unlocked. I left immediately. There were some other strange things that happened, but we explained them away, knocking on the wall where nobody lived, the wall plugs being turned upside down, the wall plugs being turned upside down, and the AC and heat being switched off when neither of us did it. Anyway, I told the apartment managers about the light switch and ordeal, and they changed the locks. I also secured a gun and checked the vents for cameras in an off chance that somebody was watching us. I swear the apartment was haunted, but once the locks were changed, things stopped. We only lived there for a couple of more months and left as soon as the lease was up. Either way, place was old and creepy. I thought they said it was a new building. Okay. Here was a link to some of the history I found about the area I lived in. Oh, okay, they have a link. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe somebody breaking in, but then they talked about the uh what did they say? The plug-in, the outlets being turned upside down? Well, that was
Mm.
weird. So, okay. History. Okay, it's like a map of the little rural town here, I guess. Let's see what people are saying. That's honestly scary, especially the lights and the door part. Good thing you trusted your gut and left that place. I don't know that. I don't know. That story was a little confusing. Okay, so I have one story. I had one story saved on here, but that in my memory I wanted to read, but now it doesn't seem to be on here. Where did it go? Because I had a story that was, let me think, what was it about? It was, gee, of course, now my mind goes blank. If I could see it, I would immediately remember it. But now I don't see it. Let's see, wake up because someone told me to. Yeah, we did that one. The, yeah, the backpacking in Indonesia one.
Mm.
The ghost story was from, I didn't skip over any of them. Did I accidentally unsave it? Hmm. 'Cause I thought it was a pretty good story too. It was actually probably my favorite out of all the ones I saved. And now, of course, that one is the one I can't find because I was looking forward to reading that one. Yeah, it's not on here. So,
Hmm.
well, sorry about that. Well, well, I do have one other glitch in the Matrix story I could read real quick. We probably got time. Uh,
Okay.
So this one wasn't one I had saved. I just saw it. It just happened to pop up right before I pulled up the thing to do the podcast. So I thought, I might read it. I might not. I don't know. So I may not even be that scary for all I know. Uh, let's see. It's Glitch in the Matrix story. Necklace duplicated. Uh, I have a silver necklace with a downward facing arrow, and the chain is long, about 30 inches. I got this from Forever 21. Oh, yeah, I know that story. Back around 2012, when this style and length in the necklace was very popular. I wear it very rarely now, but it still hangs on my necklace organizer, which hangs on the wall on the side of my bed. My husband and I were on our honeymoon in Mar Marcio, is that how you say that? Marcio? Last week, and we were clearing out my purse to make room for a couple of items. He opened the inner pouch and pulled out this necklace, along with a pair of silver earrings I remember getting no more than 2 years ago. I thought it was funny because I didn't really remember misplacing that necklace, but was glad he found it and tossed it in the pouch with my other jewelry. This is about a this is not a large purse. It's about 10 by 10 inch square with wooden sides. Wooden sides, okay. And about 3 to 4 inches deep. It's vintage. My mom bought it in the late 80s, and I have been carrying it for almost 10 years. I carry it very frequently. We returned home a couple of days ago, and today I was looking for the silver necklace for my outfit. I looked on my necklace hanger and saw the arrow necklace and thought, that's weird. I don't remember unpacking my jewelry. I felt a sinking feeling that ran to unpack my suitcase where I dumped out my jewelry pouch, and the same silver arrow necklace fell out in the mix of necklaces. I wish I could attach the same image here. This is a very distinct necklace. Both pendants have the same amount of tarnish, and everything looks exactly the same. It's the fast fashion from over 10 years ago. If I somehow had two of the same necklace, I would have noticed, especially given the 8 times I've had to move since then. The purse is not second hand. The necklace that showed up in my purse was with earrings I remember getting less than 2 years ago. What the heck happened? Hmm. I think
Hmm.
someone has a comment with a supposed explanation. Let's see. I think what happened is explained by the title of your post, the necklace duplicated. The server glitch. Oh, okay. They're saying it's the actual glitch. The server glitch, it went back to its default position while you were transitioning between game zones after all airplanes are loading screens, much like I feel like this is a troll post. Much like the escalators and elevators, game must have glitched while you were on the loading screen. Oh, okay. Anyway, but yeah, interesting story, I guess.
Yeah,
Like I
that's.
said, I just kind of pulled it up. So
I'm trying to think on that because, like, that would be actually intriguing.
yeah, man, I really wish I could find that other story. So that really bums me out. Yeah. I wish I could remember what the heck the story is even about.
Leave it to you to lose it.
I know, right? How do you lose this story on your saved thing? Man, like I said, I did admittedly I think there were two other stories that I had saved on here from a really, really long time ago. Like it was like over a year ago or something that I saved. There were some scary stories. And I did unsave two of those, and maybe I accidentally did the other one too that I had saved when I did that, but I'm pretty sure I checked them again last night and it was still on there. But I wouldn't put it back. I was pretty tired, so I wouldn't put it past myself to do something stupid like that. So,
Right.
well, that was my last one. Any favorites, or do you have a personal scary story you want to quickly share while we still have time, or anything?
Uh, nah, I think I've told my ghost stories last year.
Yeah, I pretty well told all the most interesting ones for me last year. I have others I could tell, but they're not really all that interesting. So. Maybe
Yeah, I
for
think.
maybe next year I might will share one of them. I don't know. We'll see what happens when that time comes. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah, most of mine were happening when I was a kid, and then a little bit when I was a ghost hunter with,
yeah,
with some buddies of mine. But yeah, uh, I mean, we do have, one more episode that'll be directly before Halloween. So
yep.
we might
What?
do some more spooky stuff, people, on the next episode.
Yeah, we can. Or we might do the ranking of Friday the 13th, right?
Ooh,
Were we
yeah.
gonna do that?
There you go. There's a heads up, everyone. Next week, we're ranking the Friday the 13th. Ah,
Oh
movies.
yeah. We should
Uh,
one year we need to rank the Scream movies. That might be interesting, but we can do that some other time. Yeah.
I had to catch up on the Scream movies, so yeah, that
Yeah.
maybe that'd be next year, so I can catch up.
Yeah.
Uh, All right, I guess with that being said, comment down below your favorite ghost story of the episode, and if you have anything to share, go ahead and share it. We probably would read it next week, real quick.
Yep.
If anybody actually ever comments.
I know, right?
Anyways, with that, do all the fun little stuff, and we will see you next time. Bye.
This used to happen almost daily, but for some reason it stopped in December. My room is not that big. I have a queen-size bed, a large drawer, and a built-in closet. My bed is under the window, facing the door, with the closet to the right and the drawer on the left. I usually listen to music until I fall asleep, usually around 10 or 11 p.m. But one night, I was really vibing to the music through my earbuds, so I stayed awake a bit longer. It was around 12:30 a.m. when I suddenly felt the bed vibrate, like Jurassic World when the ground trembles. At first I thought it was just me shifting or shaking the bed, but a minute later, the vibrations got worse, and it felt like someone was punching the bed from the window side. Even though I still had my AirPods on, I could faintly hear tapping sounds. I thought it may be a bug or something small, but then it hit me. My AirPods have noise cancellation. I took them out, and I swear the pounding on the bed was real. It was slow, but heavy. This went on for a full minute as I started toward the window with the curtains closed, of course. Then the pounding turned into light tapping, and that's when I was like, nope. I pulled the blanket over myself, though I had no idea why I thought that would help. Suddenly I heard rats running and scratching inside the walls. It sounded like they were moving from the window toward the closet. I stayed under the blanket until I eventually passed out from the heat. The next morning when I got ready for school, my mom asked why I was so sweaty. I told her what happened, and all she said was, "Do not open the window," like obviously, why would you even do that? I want to clarify that I live in a rural area, with the town being about 10 minutes away on car. My closest neighbor is a good 6 or 7 minute walk away from me. My window is tall and high up, and I have aggressive outdoor dogs. I only had one small tree at the time, which was on the other side of the yard. I just want to know what it could be, because even though it stopped for a while, I am scared it might come back. On top of that, I have noticed that things around the house have been moving on their own, which makes me worry whatever it was got in. Even though the knocking stopped, one day this week all my dogs started barking like crazy right at the window. I was walking to school in grade 11. I was across the school when a lady came across to me and asked if I was lost. I said I wasn't, and she didn't believe me. There was a man with her who I think was her husband. They kept asking if I wanted to get coffee with them, if I was lost. I told them I was going to school. I am still curious about it. I was wearing a backpack across from the school, so I don't get why they thought I was lost. I will always wonder what would have happened if I actually got lost. It was October 29th, 2024, and we were all about 15. About 2 weeks before, I had organized a Halloween meetup with my 3 childhood friends at my house, which is pretty isolated, set far away from the city and near some empty farms. It's been a tradition every year to invite my friends over to camp out in a tent outside my house. But this time, I wanted to add some extra excitement. For privacy, I'll call my friends Ray, G, and Adam. Ray was the funny, tall, average-built one. G was shorter and super chill, the kind of friend you could always relax with. Adam was my best childhood friend. We'd hung out almost every day each summer since we were 10, and had been in the same class for 6 straight years. They planned to arrive around 2 p.m., and we aimed to head out to our camp area about 4 p.m. Ray and Adam arrived first, so we set up the snacks, picked out our backpacks, and just joked around like any other 15-year-olds we planned to go to the camp area using a couple of motorized bicycles and my dirt bike. Adam had his own motorized bicycle, and I also had a second bike that Ray could use. But soon we realized that Adam's bike had a busted clutch cable. We spent a while trying to fix it, but we only made things worse. By the time G showed up at 3:30, we had to adjust our plan. We decided I'd take G on a dirt bike, Adam would ride my other bike, and Ray would wait back at the house while I made a return trip to pick him up, and Ray would wait back at the house while I made a return trip to pick him up once we got the others set up at camp. The camp area was about 8 kilometers away, requiring us to use the Quiet Highway, then follow a bumpy, gravelly farm road. This camp area wasn't anything official, just a flat spot in the middle of the field where I like to go and chill and clear my thoughts. By the time G and I had arrived, it was already getting dark, so I rushed back to get Ray. When we finally all gathered at the spot, G and Adam had already set up the firewood, but I hadn't lit the fire yet. It was pitch black, and the place felt eerier than usual. We got the fire going and started grilling sausages, enjoying the solitude. The area is always empty. No one ever uses that road. Then out of nowhere, we saw a helicopter fly over us. We laughed nervously, wondering if they spotted the fire and thought it was some sort of cult gathering. About 3 minutes later, we saw our car headlights off in the distance, maybe 2 kilometers away. The car seemed to just be sitting there with the lights on, but after a few moments, it turned them off. We thought it was weird, but didn't give it too much thought. Then we noticed a massive tractor, one of those with crop-cutting blades in front, slowly moving through the field about 200 meters away. We didn't think anything about it at first, but then it started heading straight toward us. We quickly moved our bikes and bags out of the way, but the tractor kept getting closer, like it had no intention of stopping. At the last second, I grabbed our helmets and moved them just before the tractor rolled over the fire, extinguishing it. Then I stopped right there, turned off the lights, and just stood still. It was pitch dark, and I couldn't see inside the cab. We all stood there creeped out, wondering why it would almost run us over, then just stop. The tractor stayed in place what felt like an eternity. None of us could see a thing inside, and thought that someone was just sitting there, silently watching us, gave us chills. Finally, I told everyone to pack up as fast as possible. 2 of my friends somehow squeezed into the back of my dirt bike, and Adam got into the motorized bike. We sped off, with one of my friends clinging and nervously looking back. He said the tractor was still sitting there in the dark, without the lights on, as we got about 100 meters away. After a tense, silent ride, we finally made it back home about 20 minutes later. We tried to brush it off, only mentioning it once, but the whole experience left us shaken. Now thinking back, I can't help but wonder what the driver's intentions were. Why would someone drive so close to us, extinguish our fire, then just sit there in silence? I kept imagining while we were staring into the dark of the cab. Maybe the driver had already slipped out of the tractor, silently watching us from behind from one of the wheels, hidden in the shadows, just a few steps away for those straight 5 minutes. The thought still sends chills down my spine. I don't remember how I got separated from my dad, but I did when I was 9. It was at a festival. Somehow I ended up hugging a stranger for a long time. I realized that they were not my dad when they asked if I wanted food. They sort of tried to prevent me from leaving, then asked, "Are you looking for someone?" Then I found my dad and he was relieved. I didn't tell my parents about the guy though. I felt embarrassed. It was scary to me as a kid, to be honest. I don't know how I even ended up hugging them or thinking they were my dad. They didn't even look like my dad. Me and my friend were just hanging out at the house one day, and my mom wanted to stay at her boyfriend's house for the night and asked if we'd be okay alone. I said yes, and she left. It was right before the sun set, and I told my friend I wanted to walk around the neighborhood. She didn't want to and didn't think it was a good idea, but I'm stubborn and I basically peer pressured her into go on a short walk. So we walked down the street and turned into a sidewalk of the street that had cars driving past. We were walking for about 5 minutes, and all of a sudden I got a terrible feeling in my stomach that was telling me to turn around immediately. At this point it was already dark, so I told my friend I had a bad feeling and wanted to go back home. While we were turning to walk back on the street that would take us to my house, I saw a man walking his dog. I got an unsettled feeling when I saw him, but told myself it was rude to assume that some random guy was creepy. We make it to the street and start walking down. My friend's being kind of weird and quiet, and all of a sudden she turns to me and says, "There's someone following us." I'm like, stop fucking around, because it was dark and we were alone, so I thought she was just joking, even though she's not the type to joke about something like that. Then she turns to me and whispered, "Look behind us." Immediately I get scared, but still don't really expect to see anyone. I turn around and the man is following us down the street. Immediately, without even thinking, I start sprinting down the road. The man gets faster behind us. My friend starts running too, and I open the door to my house quickly, and she runs in. I close the door. I never saw him again, and nothing ever happened. Maybe it was nothing, but it scared the life out of me nevertheless.